Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. Time for your daily dose of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and we are going to go ahead and do the most requested battle that I take on next, which is the Battle of the Denmark Strait. It was the battle where Bismarck sank the Hood and won a major victory, even though they were outnumbered in terms of ships. So I talked yesterday about wanting to take on the losing side in these historical battles to see if I could change things. But in this case, I'm going to take the winning side. And the only reason I'm going to take the winning side is because they were outnumbered significantly. And I feel like if I take the British side in this battle, that it would be too easy for me to win, because I wouldn't be able to design the kind of ships that I really would like to. For the Germans, I wish you could design both sides ships and we could make all of them. And maybe at some point that'll come. It'll allow you to customize every ship on both sides, and we can really historically make the Battle of the Denmark Strait. But until then, I'm going to build the Bismarck and nothing else. Now, I'm not going in and getting every last detail right, and in some cases it won't allow me to get details right. For example, the secondary guns there were a lot of 6-inch and 4-inch. Unfortunately, because of the way it allows me to build things, I actually had to go with 5-inch and 3-inch guns for the secondaries. And I couldn't get enough 3 inches to replicate the number of 4-inch guns that Bismarck had, nor could I necessarily put them in the right place. I put them wherever there was a spot it would allow me to put them. So you can kind of see where some of these secondaries are. Down there, in here, some on the tower. Now, I went with this particular model it's a modern battleship 1, because it would allow me to get a tower on it that I could put secondaries on. When I went with the Dreadnought 4, which was the initial one that gave me for 1940, there was nowhere to put secondaries anywhere in the center of the ship. In fact, I couldn't really put any secondaries at all on the Dreadnought 4. So I went with modern battleship 1. The weight's a little off. Bismarck wasn't quite this heavy, but again, I had to do that in order to be able to fit everything on it. If I go any smaller on the displacement than that, it shrinks too short and I can't get everything on it. We've got our 15-inch guns on the front and on the rear, and we've got the single mega funnel here in the center. I've got the armor down as best as I could find the information on it, mainly focused on the 12.6-inch belt armor, the 4.7-inch deck armor, the 14 inches for the turrets. Those are the main things I was concerned about. Wasn't worried about getting it exactly right, but just enough to be able to do this. So, Battle of the Denmark Strait, May of 1941. We're dealing with four British ships. I'm trying to remember exactly how many I did for this. 4 British ships, 2 German ships. The Germans lost very few casualties in this. The Bismarck was damaged, but nothing real significant. It got slowed down a little bit. And I'm starting the distance at the distance where they first made contact and started firing at each other, which was, I believe, something like 26,500 meters. I don't know. I looked it up, and whatever the distance was, that's what I went with. So we've got our battleship and our heavy cruiser, the Prince Eugen, against a battleship, a battlecruiser, and 2 heavy cruisers. In this case, the British ships were dealing with the the Hood, the Prince of Wales. That's the battleship Hood, or the battle cruiser Hood. The Prince of Wales was the battleship, one of the newest battleships in the British Navy, and then the 2 heavy cruisers. I think they were the Norfolk and the Suffolk, but I don't remember. Let's see what it named them. But Bismarck scored this huge victory because they nailed the Hood, who had very thin deck armor, and they got a nice plunging shot that exploded the Hood, and it sank in a matter of minutes. So I don't know exactly where these guys are. They're to the north, so they're this way. Now, the British got kind of fooled by the fact that the Bismarck and the Prince Eugen, let's see what it named this, Limburg, not the same, but that's okay. They were one in front of the other, and I can't remember which one was which, but the point was that the one that the British expected to be in front was the one that was in the back, and vice versa. So initially, when they thought they were firing on the Bismarck, they were actually firing on the Prince Eugen. Eventually, they figured that out, and they made the change, but here we go. Obviously, we are the German Empire, so not the the Germans as they existed in 1940. But we're going to start speeding up until we can make some contact. I've got the speed 30 knots, which is pretty fast speed for a battleship. I do have radar, but okay. There the radar is letting me know what's going on. But we just haven't made contact yet. So it's interesting that we're already closer than the Bismarck was when she sank the hood, but we haven't even made contact yet. There we go. I don't believe these ships ever got closer than about 14 or 15,000 yards during this battle, if I remember right from looking at the map. We gotta go ahead and slow things down now. We're starting to spot the ships. Let's see what names we don't know the names yet. We'll find out soon enough. They certainly aren't gonna have the big guns that I have. What's our distance right now? I can't even see them, so it's hard to say. Ooh, they hit me, but it didn't do anything. If they do get a hit, I'll be able to see what size guns they have. Of course, the Bismarck was sunk 3 days later. The German Navy was hoping that the Bismarck would be used for commerce raiding in the Atlantic, but the British had no intention of allowing Bismarck to escape into the Atlantic and wreak havoc on commerce. So they desperately needed that Atlantic trade to go. They were getting a lot of supplies, especially from the United States. And they made it their mission to make sure they hunted Bismarck down. They made a lot of great World War II movies back in the 60s and 70s, and there is one called Sink the Bismarck. I remember watching it as a kid and really being fascinated with the story. And because of that, Bismarck's always been one of my favorite battleships to study. So we're at about 18 kilometers. We're almost as close as these ships ever got during this fight. So far, nobody's hit anybody. Oh, there's a hit. So those are 13-inch guns on that ship that hit me. Alright, we're starting to get a little better sense of who we're up against here. So it looks like this is one of his cruisers. This must be his battleship. Not entirely sure what the... there's the cruiser there. Alright, so these are the heavy cruisers. That other one was the battle cruiser. Oh, we gotta slow down. That's part of our problem. Oh, he's starting to nail me. Alright, we're starting to take some damage, so we're going to go ahead and turn. I haven't really landed any hits yet, but when we do, it's going to be damaging, I think. Hopefully pretty substantial. Alright, we need to get some hits. I picked the best rangefinder. I'm really surprised I'm not landing hits. So it looks like right now we're shooting at the hood, which is called Renown in this case. I don't know the names. Oh, Redoubtable, Renown. We don't know the other two yet, but they're starting to get close. Achilles. And we're about to identify this one. Looks like we just hit Achilles with some of our smaller stuff. Are we getting any closer to hitting this guy? Nope, not yet. Come on, let's get a hit. Good night. Really close on these guys right now. And we're getting some hits. Limburg's getting some hits on them. Nothing causing any major damage though. Oh, we did get a hit on Renown. Good. Oh, it's going down now, folks. Let's switch over to high explosive, see if we can hood this guy, because this is the hood. It's supposed to be anyway. Nowhere near the size of the actual hood. I don't think. How big was hood? Yeah, 47,000 tons. Hood was almost, hey, there's a nice big explosion. Hood was almost as big as the Bismarck in terms of displacement. Hood had 15-inch guns, which this one's got 17-inch. Don't look like 17-inch, but I guess they are. This one's got 13s. Now it's bigger. It's 57,000 tons. taking a lot of damage, though. There's a torpedo, but it's well ahead of me. Alright, I want to watch this guy sink. He's trying to get away now. Boom. Just about got him. A lot of flooding going on here, especially on the starboard side. Come on, finish him off. Nice. I probably could kind of stop worrying about him for now, but I really want to finish the job before I move on. He's the one with the biggest guns, so therefore probably the biggest threat. I'm at 67%. I've taken a ton of damage. All my guns are still working though. Ooh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be real close. I think it's gonna get me. No. No, 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 no. Wow, that was super close. Alright, we sank the hood, aka Renown. Now we're going to take on these two. They'll go pretty quick if I land a hit. Now, historically, I think Hood was the only one sunk. George V got away, so did Norfolk and Suffolk, who were further away from the action. Come on, here's a hit. Oh, I was really hoping for an insta kill there, but not even close. They are only 15-inch guns. Man, a lot of holes in the side of Bismarck. I guess if Bismarck had taken this much damage in this battle, it would have gone back to refit to the port of France instead of continuing to try to break out, which might have saved Bismarck, at least for a little while. Come on, let's get a kill shot. Oh, Achilles is in bad shape now. Still got this battleship full strength though. I think we're gonna go after them before we worry about those cruisers. We got torpedoes coming our way. Right there. Nope, that's just waves. I don't see the torpedo. Got 28-inch armor on this thing. Dang. Alright, we might need to do a little armor piercing before we go with the high explosives. Or maybe not. That didn't seem to do much. That belt armor is super thick. We're probably going to have to get further away and try to get some plunging deck shots. Not doing a lot that way. Switch back to high explosive that seem to have better luck. I'm going to start going away from them, so we can put a little distance and get a little arc on these shots. Although there you have it. All 4 of those hit, and they did do some damage, just not a lot. But oh boy, okay. Where's this torpedo? Oh, geez, that's a whole huge spread of them. That's bad. Dang. Ooh. Wow. Darn cruisers. Alright, we've got to get away. We've got to get out of his torpedo range. That was brutal. I can't believe that many torpedoes got that close before I saw them. Alright, let's get as fast as we can. I don't know how much speed I've got available to me right now. Looks like 20 may be about it, and actually I just lost some of that. Oh, I'm down to 5%. Wow. And they did it. Well, we did talk about changing history at this battle. We certainly did that. Now let's go ahead and try that one more time. Well, it's a little frustrating. It doesn't save your build. So I'm not going to go back in and rebuild the Bismarck. This time, we're going to go for kill power. I'm not worried about what historically happened. I'm worried about what I want to happen. So we're going to go in and see what kind of a ship we can build to take this thing out. Okay, this time we got 18-inch guns. They're Mark III, so they're not the latest. That's why they don't have quite the accuracy. But super heavy shells and maxed out on everything related to being able to attack. 36 knots of speed. I didn't worry about adding a whole lot of extra armor and didn't worry about protecting. I don't think we're going to need it. I think we're going to probably get some pretty quick kills with these triple 18-inch guns. So instead of having 8 15-inch guns, we now have 12 18-inch guns. So this is going to be a very different story this time around. And you can actually see that I'm already spotting him, which I didn't do the last time. Even though I think we're at the same distance. I didn't change any of that. Maybe it changed it itself. No, we're at about the right distance. So this should be interesting to see how this all shakes out with these super heavy 18-inch shells. Here they come, plunging from afar. Oh, it auto-switched. I hate when it does that. So now we've got to try and find our aim again. He's already hit me. He hit me again. Alright, let's slow down so we can get more accuracy. Let's switch over to high explosives. Oh, come on now. Might get one hit here. Maybe. Yes. If you're really lucky here, this could be death. But of course I didn't get lucky. Not a single hit. Ah. "17 kilometers out." Can we hood the hood, please? Guess not. I'm closer to identifying. There's a big hit. Front turret's not firing on that guy? They don't appear to be. Don't appear to be doing anything. We'll find out here in a second. Oh, now they're raising up. They must have been, oh, they were just reloading. That's why. Here we go. Oh, the resistance. Resistance is futile. Or not. It's really anticlimactic. Alright, we're about to identify their battleship. We've got the Galatea and another unknown back there. Oh, the Rodney. Oh, just in time to see all those big guns. 17-inch guns firing. Resistance got 15 this time. Galatea and Roxburgh. Tell you what, these British came ready to go, man. They do not mess around. They got nice big guns on these ships. But the hood's about to go down, aka resistance. I do want to finish them off though. Man, that was a lot of damage. That should be enough to do the job. Let's go after Rodney. Now we're getting some accuracy. Surprisingly, the faux hood back there is still alive. Here comes the kill salvo on Rodney, I'm hoping. beautiful. What's our distance? We're down to 8 kilometers. No wonder we're not missing. They never got this close in the real battle. We're gonna have to go one more time on Rodney. Gotta change my angle so we can get all the guns firing. Right now we're just firing with the front ones. Oh yeah. Big hits. That's it, Rodney's out. Get a nice view of these guns firing this thing. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I thought they were still reloading. Cool little detail, watching all the barrels go back down while they reload. And then, oh, did they just fire one? That was cool. Maybe not. There might have been one coming in. Oh, big hit. Not sure why we turned that way. Woo! Nice. Oh, Roxburgh. That leaves Hood for last, aka Resistance, sitting kind of dead in the water. Here we go. Bye-bye. Oh, come on now. That was a lot of damage to not sink this ship. Their whole stern is underwater. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, that was fun. I honestly thought that the first battle was going to go way easier, and so I didn't really focus a whole lot on my tactics because I felt like it was going to be an easy win. And then he torpedoed me to death, and it didn't go so well. So there you have it. If nothing else, it was a great opportunity for us to open up a conversation, talk a little bit about the historic Battle of Denmark Strait. So let's use the comment section below for that. And let me know what other historic battles you'd like to see. And we'll try to get those fit in whenever possible. Thanks for watching.